Hey, what's up guys and gals? My name is Rick9G. Thank you so much for joining me today for another movie review. If you are new to the channel, welcome. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you do enjoy the content. By the way, I have more movie review videos. I have a playlist which you can click on, as well as just browse my channel. I have tons of videos that I think you will enjoy. Let's get to today's movie. That is called Pixels. Yes, the movie's called Pixels. Now, you know that I'm kind of particular in the movies that I watch. I love action, I love drama here and there. I just love a good movie and a good story, but sometimes I have a curiosity to watch a certain movie. When I get those desires to watch these movies, I'll watch them. And of course, I want to give you my genuine impressions. Not all movies that I watch are great, so I try to give you my honest opinion on these. And if there's still curiosity, maybe you enjoy them yourselves. This movie, again, is called Pixels. For those of you who don't know, the pixel is basically a square or even a rectangular just segment that makes up something like a TV or like a screen. So I'm looking at my screen in the camera, or a TV screen or LCD. If you really go in really close, you'll see these little pixels, these little tiny thousands of squares that light up, and as you back away, it makes an image. And so that's the premise of this. This is an Adam Sandler movie.
Sam Brenner, Pac-Man world champion.
It's a Happy Productions film. Let me tell you right off the bat, if you're not a fan of If you're not a fan of Adam Sandler, just don't watch this movie. Just completely skip it. It's his movie, he's in it, he's the main protagonist. So again, if you don't like him, just skip this movie. If you don't like Kevin James, skip this movie. Again, I have a love for Adam Sandler. I have he has a soft place in my heart because I do like a lot of his films, like Happy Gilmore. Again, none of his films, in my opinion, are like Oscar, Academy Award winning films. But I think if that's what you think going into his movies, you're not going to like him, first of all. And second of all, I don't think that's what he's trying to do, at least when he makes his movies. Sometimes there's a good message involved, but when you watch his movies, you're going to have fun. You're just going to kind of sit back, pop in a movie. This is a very casual movie. This is, in terms of story, this is not the strongest story that you have seen. In fact, the story is horrible. It's probably one of the worst story arcs or stories I've ever seen in a movie. In fact, I don't even think I could explain it to you. I usually don't like to explain plots and so forth, but I'm going to explain this to you to see if this even makes sense. I don't think I even know what to say here. The idea is there are these aliens that somehow take the form of older video game characters. They somehow get into our world, and they're trying to destroy the world pixel by pixel. Let's say they shoot at a mailbox, it'll disintegrate into pixels, which is like losing that object. People, it happens to. And so it's so weird. Like you might think, Rick, that doesn't make exact. That's what the movie is. I think even the movie itself struggles to come up with the story, and they kind of give up at some point, and it's just like, yeah, it's like a video game in real life. So that's what you have to understand. If you're not a fan of video games, if you're not a product of the 80s or know what happened in the 80s with video games and how it took over, if you don't like Mario, Donkey Kong, Yoshi, if any of these things don't ring a bell, just skip this movie because it's not going to appeal to you, in my opinion. Pac-Man's a big thing in this game. Kind of like 80s video games, brought to today, making references about today. And that's the basic premise. So I hope this at least makes you think, okay, I will like this movie or not. Now, if all these things that I mentioned like pique your interest, you may enjoy the movie, not because it's a great movie. Spoiler alert, I'm telling you whether it was great or not. You may enjoy it just for casual, like, I don't care if this is a horrible movie, but I do enjoy elements of it. I'm just going to sit back, relax, not think about it too much, and just, while I'm eating popcorn or cooking, casually glance and look over. And then that's the type of movie that this is.
That makes sense.
What this movie has is a couple of cameos. I'll let you know, because maybe it might incite you to watch the movie. I'm not trying to make you watch the movie. I'm just telling you what it is about. Dan Aykroyd makes an appearance, which is kind of surprising. It's not really announced. Serena Williams makes another appearance. I think there are a couple other cameos, so I won't spoil them. But that gives you an idea. They kind of pop in here, and it's like, whoa, random. how did they get these people, but they're here, and that was pretty surprising and kind of fun. There's a lot of 80s music. Again, it starts out in the 80s, you get that musical feel, you see Adam Sandler young, and then all of a sudden grow up into today's time. We Will Rock You by Queen. We will rock you. It's like a kid's movie, but then adults can watch it too. There's some adult humor here and there, but it's not very strong, and so it's not like anything that, you know, you wouldn't want to show your kid, because it's kind of made for people in my age range. I would say like that's the sweet spot, maybe even a little younger, because the idea is I grew up knowing this, and then now let's see Adam Sandler become the real Mario in the Donkey Kong game. Or what if Pac-Man was real and the streets were the Pac-Man maze? You know what I mean? And that's what the movie is. And the story's just like, okay, we just need a story, so let's just make up one that's not very good. Why, I don't know. I guess it was just what they came up with. Maybe that wasn't the focus of the movie, but that's something to keep in mind. Also, something to note, Kevin James is the president in this movie. Let me repeat that again. Kevin James is the president of the United States in this movie. Yeah. I'm not against Kevin James. I think he's funny at times. I kind of enjoy his humor. It's a little bit slapsticky and kind of goofy. But yes, he is the president. And he's goofy, but he's like serious. That's what I mean. This movie's kind of all over the place. In terms of quality, it's not the greatest out there. It is watchable, but then again, suspension of belief just goes out the door. The idea that you're gonna be stimulated mentally in an academic or educational way, no way. This is just a fun, turn-on movie. Reminisce a little from the 80s. Here's some music that you may enjoy. Laugh here and there. There are funny moments, which you will enjoy. If you're, again, a product of the 80s or the 90s, you will understand these.
Don't tell anybody I killed the Smurf.
Josh Gad was pretty good. I'm not really a fan, but I saw him in the movie, and it was fairly entertaining.
Your worst nightmare!
Again, Peter Dinklage, he is a little person in a lot of movies, and he was in it. I kind of like him as an actor. I think he could play roles pretty well.
Freddie Plant, king of Donkey Kong.
He's in Game of Thrones, and he's been in tons of other stuff, X-Men and so forth. And like I said, guys and gals, this movie does not rate well. In terms of story's horrible. Graphics, they were okay. Adam Sandler is not convincing in the character. He kind of has a love interest, and it's like, that's not convincing. He's actually not even really convincing that he's like a video game guy. I don't know how to explain that. Maybe he is in real life, but it just doesn't seem like it's a logical thing. The others, yes, like, of course, Josh Gad, yes, he's a total nerd. That works out. Then Kevin James is the president. I'm just like, I know it's satire. I know it's like trying to poke fun, but it's just so bad. It's just so bad. It's not believable, and you see it, and every time you see it, it just irks you. It's like, could they have picked someone just different? It's like, oh my goodness, like I know they need to be silly, but it just wasn't believable. Again, maybe that's what this movie is. So I'm not going to give this movie a great score. In fact, so far, if you've seen every one of my movie reviews, this is the worst score I've seen or I have given. Star Wars, The Last Jedi doesn't get a great score. I think it should have gone worse. But I'm going to give this movie a D. Yes, guys and gals, a D. Now, does that mean that you should miss this movie? No, because some of these things that I may have said may have piqued your interest. Some of these topics, some of these things that I've mentioned, maybe you're kind of like me, a product of the video game culture, you maybe just want to see it, you may like it, but quality-wise, there's a lot of things that were done wrong in this movie. A lot of holes in the plot. The whole plot is just a hole. And so, yeah, there's a point, just let me tell you, where like a pixel, a video game character that is like a big nose, Sesame Street type character becomes a blonde bombshell and falls in love with a human. Yeah, no, that's actually, I'm not even kidding, that is in the movie. So that gives you an idea. It's just like, what? Like, is this supposed to be something for me in my age? Is this supposed to be for a 10-year-old? I don't know. But there it is, guys and gals. And so I hope you appreciate this review. I'm just trying to give you my honest to goodness thoughts. I think most people should miss this movie, to be honest with you. But I think some of you, this may appeal to you, and the silly wackiness to it that makes no sense may be interesting to some of you, and you may turn out to like this movie. I kind of liked it as a secret, to be honest with you. But was it a bad movie? Yes. So we'll see you next time, guys and gals. Thanks so much for watching, and don't forget, be hopeful.